Alright, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio with this week's releases coming up. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you, make sure to like and subscribe for any kind of Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Kill Team, Necromunda, and warcry content. I do all kinds of reactions, reviews, tutorials for painting, magnetizing, and lighting, unboxing, pretty much anything you could think of. So let's take a look at what we have in store this week.
Hello and welcome to This Week in Warhammer. My name is Max and I'm going to guide you through the next 7 days of your favourite hobby. Get ready for the new season of competitive and matched play in the first instalment of Chapter Approved 2022, the Grand Tournament Mission Pack. Plus, make sure you're building valid army lists with the up-to-date points found in the Munitorum Field Manual 2022. Chapter Approved comes with 18 missions, 9 each for incursion and strike force sized games, as well as new and updated secondary objectives, letting you flex your tactical skill against worthy opponents. If you've been waiting for the perfect opportunity to dive into the new edition of Kill Team, then now is the perfect time, with the Kill Team Starter Set. This Kill Team set is the ideal place to jump into the ongoing conflict at Octarius, featuring a team of grimly determined veteran guardsmen from the Death Corps of Kreig, as well as a motley crew of cunning but brutal orc commandos. The starter set contains everything you need to get stuck right into a game of secret missions and sci-fi skirmishes. For the first time, the veteran guardsmen and the commandos are also available as separate kits, so if you want to pick them up for Kill Team or add them to your Warhammer 40,000 army, now is the time. If the mean streets of Necromunda are more your speed, it is time to bolster your gangs with 4 extremely expendable hive scum, or get revenge on the major houses of the hive by forming an entire outcast gang. Reinforcements for your gangs also come in the form of the slopper and scabba. They can handle themselves in a skirmish, but their main draw comes from their extracurricular activities, cooking and trading respectively.
Alright, so as we can see, quite a few of the items we had recently discussed coming out here. So first we have the Warzone Necromunda Grand Tournament Pack and Munitorum Field Manual 2022. So this is basically chapter approved, broken down into 2 parts. The Warzone Necromunda Grand Tournament Mission Pack will be like a bunch of new missions and whatnot that will be for the Grand Tournament and obviously like competitive play. And then we have a separate book, the Munitorum Field Manual, which will have like the updated points and everything. We used to get 1 chapter approved with new missions and points in it. Now they split it into 2 books. So if you want to play competitively and make sure your points are up to date, you're going to need both these books. So 18 total missions, 9 each of incursion and strike force size games. New updated secondary objectives. And then next for Kill Team, we have the Kill Team Starter Set. This set is designed for new players who want to jump into a fantastic game of secret missions and sci-fi skirmishes. It will feature 2 kill teams, the grimly determined veteran guardsmen of the Death Corps of Kreig, and a motley crew of cunning but brutal orc commandos, who we last saw tearing chunks out of each other in the incredible cinematic Kill Team trailer. So this is the set we were talking about recently. Comes with everything you need to play. It's everything from the Octarius set with a couple changes. Does not include the big Octarius terrain pieces, just a scatter terrain. Does not include the big Octarius book or the big Kill Team core rule book. Instead, it includes the mini softcover version of the core rules, which has everything you need to play. A recruit edition book, which probably has like some shortened version, including the commando and death corps rules. You got your token sheet, your barricades and measuring devices, some dice, and a fold-out game board. And then you also have your 2 kill teams, the Kreig and Commandos. I'm not sure what the price point will be on this, but based on the entry level for the other games, the 40k starter set is $170 for the larger one, which comes with the like actual terrain. And then the Sigmar one is $165 for the set that comes with the actual terrain. This looks like a little less because it's just a scatter terrain. So hopefully it'll be closer to like $150 USD. But the Octarius set was $200 and came with the big books and also all the big terrain. So while the Octarius set is not available for retail from GW, there's still some copies out there floating around on the internet and I'm sure in some local game stores. I think we're really going to see the value of this set. Because I suspect that if we keep scrolling down here, we see the veteran guardsmen and the orcs will both be available separately. But also they are releasing the Octarius book, which will probably be $30, possibly $40, and then also the Killzone Octarius terrain, which will be the game board, and then all the terrain from the Octarius set. This will probably run $100, possibly more. It is a lot of really nice terrain. So if this comes in at $100 and the book comes in at $30, so you're basically paying $70 for the 2 kill teams. I mean, depending on how the breakdown goes, I honestly think, I mean, they've, with all these like new sets, they did it with Dominion, they did it with the 40k set as well. It was like a really good deal, and you didn't realize till afterwards when the other box came out how good a deal it really was. So while these don't come with armies, they come with terrain. This comes with terrain, so it sort of like replaced the extra models you got in the Dominion and Indominus set. So I suspect it'll be a similar thing where it'll basically be like $300 worth of value in this box, and you don't realize till afterwards how good a value it really was. So I can speculate on the release price of this. I think if the Octarius terrain is going to be $100, I think this set will probably be somewhere between $150 and $170. So the real question is, for the extra like $30 to $50, would you rather have the big books and all the terrain, or just have like the little compact books and the scatter terrain? And they did announce also that the Death Corps of Kreig and the Kommandos will be available separately, as well as the Killzone Octarius. So I suspect the packaging we saw was then packaged for a kill team. So I don't know if they'll come with data sheets inside of like the little boxes of the guys, or if the Killzone Octarius set will come with like some actual data sheets or anything for like the terrain, like the deployment layouts or anything like that. I hope it does, so they can operate independently. Otherwise, you would need like the Octarius book. So I think they'll do something similar to Warcry though, where the individual boxes have the rules that are in the books. They'll come like packaged. So hopefully we'll see the Death Corps and the Kommandos come in about $50 a set, and this come in around $100. I think that's pretty reasonable and realistic. Next we have Necromunda. So the Hive Scum are getting re-released. Obviously these are out, went away, and now they're back. They've been repackaged in a group of 4, a small supplement to add to your gang. Or you can get all 12 of them again. Yeah, 3 sets of the 4 guys on sprue. So here we have the Delac weapon upgrade set. It's got a bunch of like special weapons, some grav, heavy flamers, melt-a-guns, Weber, plasma pistol, plasma gun, sniper rifle, a little bit of everything. A bunch of heads, some throwing knives. And then we have the Underdog card pack, which is basically for the new models coming out. And we would just expect those to be right in line with the other sets. I'm pretty sure these are going to be from Forge World. Basically have like a weapons dealer and like a meat dealer. They look like Forge World style models, so probably going to be like resin Forge World available only. And then Blood Bowl, we have the Skaven Rat Ogre. Not sure. I suspect he'll probably be Forge World as well. They've been releasing a lot of like the larger specialty models from Forge World for like Blood Bowl and Necromunda. So, and then now we have the release of the Imperium magazine officially for North America and some other parts of the world. So that's pretty cool. If you're not familiar with the Imperium magazine, it's basically just like Warhammer themed magazine that comes out, similar to like a White Dwarf style magazine. And then included with it are like miniatures or painting supplies, terrain, etc. It is a subscription model. It's like 1 issue per week. So it comes in like bundles of 4 issues at a time. And then like the actual subscription has like some limited edition models such as Lieutenant. He comes with issue 5. And in case you are curious on the pricing, this is the website where you can put in your order at. It's Warhammer 40,000 no comma imperium.com, or there is a link on that page we were just looking at. So the first issue alone is $6.95, includes a lieutenant, warden, and the magazine, and a gaming mat, dice, and a ruler. So nice little setup. Basically just gives you like the ability to fight with two characters against each other. It's probably just a paper mat, cheap little ruler, and a couple dice, but you know, basically enough to get you rolling, and I'm assuming the stats are inside there, so not bad for $6.95, obviously, for that first issue. If we click on the subscribe now option, it gives us two different options to look over for the pre-order of issue 1, 2, and 3. So for our two options, this one is issues 1, 2, and 3, followed by 4 issues delivered each month. So the price for this is $55.80. Pre-order ships late January, and this is for the first 3 issues. So we see, obviously, these are going to be the contents of the 3 issues. So you get the 3 actual magazines, 3 Necron warriors, 3 intercessors, the lieutenant, and the royal warden, and then 2 paints, a paintbrush, a couple dice, the little playmat, and ruler. So decent little starting setup, basically, to start painting your guys, start playing. And then when we read the fine print a little bit here, it is $55.80 per month. The first shipment is only $20.90. And then if we dive into all the fine print here, we see it is $6.95 extra shipping and handling. And we will also supply 4 binders to store your amazing magazines in. First of which is free, then $9.95 each thereafter. So basically you're looking at $55.80 per month times 12 months. The first month is only $20.90. So you're talking about $650 for the year for this. And theoretically, this is what you would have at the end of the year for your $600. So decent amount of terrain. 4 issues per month, so once a week. So 50-something issues of the magazine, I believe. Looks like some nice size armies. A little bit of Admech in there, some Sisters, Space Marines, Necrons. I mean, it's a cool little way to collect, to play, to build an army up. And then if we just go back and take a look at our second option, this one is the premium set for Chaos, Tyranids, Tau, and Orcs. So this one is $67.80 per month, so an additional $12. The first issue being $26.90. And again, it's $6.95 shipping and handling. And $9.95 for each of those supply binders. And it sounds like they send it out each month. So you pay $6.95 on 4 issues at a time. So the first pack is 1, 2, and 3 for $26.90, plus you pay $6.95 shipping. And that's your first month. And then your next month, it would go up to the $67.80 plus $6.95 shipping. So about $75 times 12 months. Probably looking at about $900 for this one. And I don't think it actually shows any additional models in this, what comes with it. But it does tell you it's like Chaos, Tau, all that good stuff. So for anybody that's interested in that, I'm sure you can dive deeper into it and find out exactly what's in it. It's definitely a different way to go about the hobby. You know, dividing it up basically into what is $67.80 a month. It's basically like buying 1 or so box sets every single month, but instead of choosing them, you just get what they offer. Also, this doesn't show a lot of like modeling supplies and stuff come with it. So you're going to get like quite a few paints, other things than just like the actual minis themselves. And then obviously they talk about this limited edition model. Some new stuff from the Black Library, a Kreig book, which I'm sure will be pretty cool. Day of Ascension, a Gene Stiller cult themed book as well. And the Triumph of St. Catherine, which is a Adeptus Sororitas book. And then we have the Book of Martyrs also, Sororitas as well. Masters of the Hunt for the White Scars. And finally, The Serpent and the Saint. I'm not sure exactly what that one is. Looks like maybe audiobook only. I don't see the actual book, or perhaps they just didn't have the picture in time. And then we have Das Hellwinter Tor, which is Space Wolves, and some new Warhammer Plus stuff. Hammer and Bolter artifacts, Ideneth Deepkin, skin tone like painting tutorial, and some other random stuff like White Dwarfs, etc. So overall, quite a bit of new stuff coming out here. The big one, obviously, is the Kill Team starter set. I'm curious about the pricing. I suspect if it comes out anywhere around what I'm picturing, right around like the 150 to 170 range, that any last copies of Octarius will be swooped up as quickly as possible, as people realize how great a deal that really was. There's definitely something nice to say about the softcover books and not having to carry around like the tons of like big books. Even though like the starter book and the Octarius book are softcover, they're both like full size. As where the Recruit Edition rulebook, the smaller one, is like half the size of the regular rulebook. So like the Recruit Edition book is still like normal size, like 8 by 11 roughly. But the core rulebook that comes with it has all the rules in it, but it's like mini in size. So I think this is a great way to get started in the game. Hopefully it will come in at a lower price point and give players a like good opportunity to get into the game for relatively cheap. I'd really like to see this come in closer to like a 125 level as more of a jumping off point for new players. I think that it's easier to onboard people with an initial deal and then kind of raise the prices on them or get them used to the regular pricing. But if somebody's going to start in a game and the prices are already a little bit on the high side, especially compared to like alternative game options, I think they're less likely to get started. And while Games Workshop is definitely on the higher end of the spectrum price-wise and quality-wise, I think that you really have to get people involved in the game, see the minis and what they have to offer to really like sell them on the value that it has. It's much harder to sell somebody on the value if they don't ever actually buy anything. So, but there we have it. That is this week's previews and everything. Great to see this Kill Team starter coming out. Definitely excited about that. I think Octarius is probably going to be gone very quickly from like retail and online stores as people realize how great a value it is. I don't think this is going to interfere with what we were expecting to get for Kill Team already. I suspect that this was just delayed just because of everything that's been going on lately. So I do still think that we're going to get a new Kill Team release. Hope that we're going to get a new Kill Team release. They didn't specifically say it's going to be Necromunda or what's going to be in it, but I don't think they would like hype it up that much and then just sort of like re-release a lesser version of what they already did. So, but we'll have to wait and see. So that's it for today. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man. If you like the content, make sure you like and subscribe for Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team, Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, and warcry content. All kinds of painting tutorials, conversions, customizations. Show off all the commissions as they go out of the studio. And then obviously reviews and unboxings as well. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.